Hi, I'm Cindy from beadanswear.com, and today in this video I'm going to show you about needles. There's a lot of different needles out there. Check this out and you're going to find out a lot about needles. I'm going to go over some needles and show you a couple different techniques of sewing some knots. So the first thing I'm going to show you is there are these different types of needles. Now, if you're working with silk or something really fine like that, that could run, satin especially will run real easy, organza, you want to make sure it's a really fine point so it goes through real easy. There are simple ones like this with no head in it. Then you have some bigger head ones that are easy when you put them into the fabric. They're easy to see where they are and pull them out. Okay. My favorite that I like to use are these long quilting needles. They're about twice as long. They're easy to put in and out. You can gather a lot of fabric all at once, and because they're not close to the edge, I never worry about them slipping out, and because of the big head, I can always find them. We also have safety pins. There's several different kinds. There's really large ones. You can also find really teeny tiny ones. My favorite to use are these ones right here. They have the curve in it. They're in the quilter section because they're very strong. Whenever I have a costume fix, something fast, somebody needs something done, I always recommend you use one of these. The reason being, these ones, I can literally bend that open with my fingers like I just did. If you only have this type, you're putting on a costume, you have a quick fix you need, don't just leave it like that. Take a pair of pliers, take something, and smash that down. And smash it together. Because then, when the dancer's dancing, this won't open up on them. Otherwise, they have a tendency to pull apart and open up. These big giant ones, I don't usually recommend those because when you clip some fabric together, it's just too much gap in between. You want to make sure you're using a safety pin for a quick fix. You just put a little bit in and maybe go through twice. I'm going to show you a quick little suggestion if you're ever, let's grab some fabric here. If you're ever having to put some straps on, a quick fix, let's say this is the strap. We'll fold it up so it's like a strap. Don't hook it through like that. What'll happen is it'll pull apart like that. You want to put the strap where it needs to be. You want to go in and back through like that, and that'll keep it secure so that it doesn't pop out. Now this is just fabric, so it's a little flimsy, but you get the point. Okay, so let's take a look at a few other things. I personally like working with very long needles. They're easy for your fingers, but you can't really use these on silk or satin. You want a fine, fine tip for that. My eyes aren't so great, but I can see that hole of the needle really easy. So there's a few different ways you can use the thread. The traditional way is just looped around like that and then cut here. Now the reason I don't like that is every time you sew, you're slightly going to pull this out. I prefer to go down, double it up. I'm going to show you a trick. Wet your finger a little, put the thread there, cross it over like a knot. Now roll it up and you've got yourself a great knot. Now, show you one other quick trick. When I'm sewing on buttons, I make a loop in the middle. Put that through here. Back up. Cut it off even. Roll that knot. Now if something like that happens, one of those threads is shorter. Just go back in and trim it down. Wrap it around. Now that way you're sewing with 4 threads instead of just 1. Makes it a lot more secure. I'll show you a couple quick little stitches. There's a running stitch where you just go in and out like that. Now you want to make sure and knot that off. Or there's one that I like if it's something that's going to have a lot of pressure on it. I need to sew something on quick. I'm going to come through, bring that over to here, Now instead of going back up over here, I'm going to come back on this side of the thread and back over. Now that spot that I crossed over locks it into place. Now remember, when you're doing that crossing back over, you want to think about that. You want that type of a stitch somewhere where you're not going to see it. That's a big stitch. You want to think about if the fabric's pulled, are you going to see gaps and holes? So do it smaller, do it tinier, and keep it secure. Really easy. Have fun sewing. Thank you for watching our video, and if you enjoyed it, make sure and click here to subscribe because we're going to have some amazing DIY videos coming out. And if you want to get our free, complete dance costume DIY guide, click right here or go to bdancewear.com/DIY guide. And lastly, if you have any questions or ideas for future videos, please leave it in the comments below. Thanks again for watching our video. And remember, be original, be colorful, bdancewear.com.